Attention quarterback! Who left the building? Unicorns, show ponies! Where's the beef?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and any remaining Brown fans they may be, Misguided Productions proudly presents The Frenzy with Russell Franchise, starring Russell Franchise, playing the world's most dangerous game of NFL Pick'em. The time for talk is over. It's time to start the frenzy. Here's your host, Russell Franchise. Let's get ready to fumble.
Let's get it going right now. Welcome to the Frenzy with me, Russell Franchise. Hope you're doing all right as we start week 2, and as always, picks that we make on the show for play. Not for real. If you're making money off my picks, hook a brother up. I have a FanDuel account that really needs money. I really thought I could make $1 million today, but I couldn't because of fake Flacco, but that's neither here or there. Ladies and gentlemen, we had an amazing week 1. Hope you enjoyed the games of football that were happening right there. Last week's picks were amazing, although it came down to the wire between the three of us. At the end of the night, it had to come down to the Broncos game, and unfortunately, the upset pick never came out my way, so here's how the tally goes. Corey Rockbottom Davis had 9 out of 16 picks correct. That's respectable. I had 10 out of 16 picks correct, which is better, but unfortunately, Parthenon John, the great one up me because of that Broncos game. He's got 11 picks correct, which means he wins the week. The good news is that I actually begin the season off 10 out of 16. That gives me 62.5% of correctness. I don't know if that's the right stat, but I got 62% of my picks correct. Unfortunately, though, under the new rules where if I lose to any one of my guests, they have to give me a prepared statement. That means I was subjected to what Parth, the great one, would give me, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm about to play it for you, and I just want to say in advance, I apologize if I might offend anybody. Hello, folks. I'm Russell Franchise. If you're like me, you know when it comes to lotion, there's absolutely no substitute for horse urine. Some of my fondest memories have been sitting under my favorite horse, Sunshine, as she bathes me in the unequal glow of radiance and beauty. Sunshine is gone now, but those memories of her giving me a barnyard R. Kelly bath will live on through my glistening skin. So whether it's a prom date or a hot date with a wife, you need your skin at its absolute best. Do what I do. Reach for a 100% organic, all-natural Frenzy brand horse urine. It'll get your skin giddy up good. I'm Russell Franchise, and Parthenon John beats my picks. So you see where my predicament is, but week 2, there's still room for redemption. It starts here with my guest tonight. He has been a Frenzy favorite. He has actually helped a lot of people out in more ways than one. He started off last year as a fantasy expert, and now he's got his own show with me, of course. Frenzy presents Fantasy War Room, which airs Thursdays on the same podcast or YouTube channels, especially on Facebook.com/Franchise Frenzy, the new home of the Franchise Football Frenzy in all its forms. So, without any other introduction, here he is, the man that I have plucked from obscurity to be your fantasy savior. His name is Matt Carroll. I call him Fantasy Buddha. Welcome back to the Frenzy, Fantasy Buddha.
Hey, Franchise, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Week 2 was did you get the sense that, I think every week, of football is different, but this week of football, the first week, would you say it had a different look to it?
Yeah, I mean everything from rule changes with the new field, with the new extra point attempt, to uniforms with the 49ers and the all black and red that they did with last night.
All right.
I mean, football is it's a big sport. We get together one time a week, and that's what makes it special. But this week, I think we've been rested so long since relevant games. We're just ready for it to play.
Yeah, but I mean, it was an amazing week. I will say before we start actually getting to the picks, well, actually two things. One, I'm getting sick and tired of these damn FanDuel Fantasy King. There was a commercial for either one of them every week. You know how bad it got, Matt?
How bad?
Sunday Night Football, and you can actually I actually took a picture. You can find it on Facebook.com/Franchise Frenzy. FanDuel ran an ad where, for their thing, and they always have a code word. The code word for this commercial, and I cannot make this up, even if you paid me, the code word to get the special deal was trap. I am not kidding you. TRAP, trap. It was the first honest commercial I saw all Sunday.
There was I'm trying to remember what it was last night. There was a code word last night. It was something completely random. Now, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy, entering in a team or two on FanDuel.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. But I mean, I think that they pretty much have hit their target audience. If you're going to play, you're probably playing, and if you're not, then you're probably not playing. Does that make sense?
At this point, you only have to do a FanDuel or a DraftKings commercial maybe once every 30 minutes. I understand.
Yeah.
But I mean, this shit about doing it every 50 minutes just to save face, I can't do it. I just can't do it. But that's just me. So last year when we did this, we had a best of three.
Oh, you mean the best of three that I won?
Yeah, I was going to get to that point. You.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
You did. You won fair and square.
2-1. 2-1.
2-1. And so, we're going to do the same thing again, but this time, all right. So, the big emphasis now, it's still rivalry. The best out of 3 series. But it's been made even greater because if I win, it's still me basking in glory. But if you win, you get to write a prepared statement for me to read for the audience. And I don't know if you heard what Parth just said, what made me say, but you can hear that there's I must win week 2 and I must get the early jump in this rivalry, sir.
Oh, yeah. Russell, sometimes even a blind squirrel finds a nut. And that's what happened last week. And you can talk all you want about, getting the early jump in the rivalry. That's just not going to happen, buddy.
Them sounds like some fine words. So, without further ado, are you ready to play the world's most dangerous game of NFL Pick'em?
Let's play it.
And the Lord looked down upon his flock, and he gave unto us his holy trinity.
Great, brother.
The 3 biggest games of the week. Monday. Thursday. And Sunday. Can I get an amen from the congregation?
Amen.
It's the Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity starts this week with a Thursday night game, which is very interesting. For the Broncos, yes, they did win. Technically, the scoreboard did say the Broncos beat the Ravens, but it wasn't because of Peyton. The fact of the matter is, Peyton, last week, 24 for 40, 175, no touchdowns, 1 pick. That game was all defense. All defense. With stuff like that. On the other side of the coin, you look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs pulled off a big win against the Texans. Alex Smith, 22 for 33, 233 with 3 touchdowns. However, Matt, and you might be able to solve this, he still doesn't have any wide receiver touchdowns. None.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't, and that's just a feeling out process because he's not used to Jeremy Maclin.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
So,
he threw 2 touchdowns to Kelts, but then Kelts got injured. You managed to get 1 to Jamal Charles, but even with that, you pay your wide receivers to, for a reason to catch touchdowns. Is it a Alex Smith problem where he can't throw the touchdowns, or is it a wide receiver problem where they either can't get open to catch those touchdowns?
I would say it's probably 70-30 in favor of Smith. Alex Smith is just a serviceable quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, I don't truly believe he's ever going to be a quarterback who can be a downfield threat. But, with that being said, he can do just enough damage, and if you put the right supporting cast around him, that's what, you're going to, you can, with Jamal Charles, with a good supply of tight ends, and occasionally air it out to Jeremy Maclin, you've got something.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. The Chiefs right now, as of Vegas, of course, we're going to use a composite of all the Vegas sports books with all our picks tonight. Vegas has the Chiefs as a 3-point favorite going into Thursday night. With this game, what are you thinking?
Man, it's tough because Peyton Manning hasn't thrown a touchdown in 5 games.
He hasn't thrown a touchdown in 5 games?
Yeah, that's the stat that I read earlier. It's just with T.J. Anderson out, they're going to Ronnie Tillman. Obviously, there are fantasy implications there. I think I would take the Chiefs on this one. I think Alex Smith, despite not carrying the ball out to a wide receiver, he's still got Jamal Charles. So I think I will take the Chiefs at points.
All right. With something like this, because it's a divisional rivalry, and with something like this, from the very beginning, I've been kind of suspect I've been very suspect with Peyton Manning, because to me, this feels like this should be his last season. If last week's game wasn't any type of indication that maybe we've seen the best of Peyton Manning, this game will certainly show it. I'm going to take the Chiefs, and I'll even go out on a step. This will be the game that Alex Smith throws a touchdown to his wide receiver. Which wide receiver? I do not even know the name of a wide receiver for the Chiefs. So,
You know about Jeremy Maclin?
Is Maclin a Chief?
Yeah, Macklin's Chief.
Well, now I know one.
There you go.
So that's all that matters. All right, game 2. Well, last week, I gave this scenario to Parth and Corey. It's the Super Bowl. You need to get a touchdown in order to win the game outright. Do you run left? Do you run up the middle? Or do you run right? Or do you throw the ball? Everybody said you run the ball. Seahawks do the complete opposite. So Sunday against the Rams, Matt, I'm going to give you a scenario. 4th and 1 is overtime. You need to get the first down in order to keep the game going. The ball's at midpoint. Do you A, throw to the left side of the field, B, throw to the middle, C, throw to the right side of the field, or D, run it up the middle with Marshawn Lynch?
Okay, in 4th and 1 in that situation.
4th and 1, we're about midfield.
Here's the caveat to that, okay? I would like the play call because it's out of the pistol, okay?
Okay.
So you have, if I remember right, they had 5 linemen, and then 4 receivers, and I don't remember if they were in splits or, some kind of triangle or quads or whatever they were. I don't think it's a bad play call. I think I would prefer to see Marshawn Lynch with a little bit of momentum, so, a downhill block coming out the backfield. So, essentially Russell Wilson under center. But, I don't mind the play call. I really don't. I thought it was it's a different look, not something that they're necessarily gonna be expecting. So, look, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all you're playing an armchair quarterback.
All right. Well,
but I don't think Carroll messed up. I like him personally.
All right. Well, do you think that the Seahawks are at this point in need of Cam Chancellor? Because let's be honest. If Cam Chancellor was in that game, it would still be a tight game, but I could actually see it going more the Seahawks way than the Rams.
Chancellor does play a large role. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Chancellor doesn't. It took the entire cast of Rams, particularly the immersion of Benny Cunningham, and then the outstanding play of Nick Foles. I think Nick Foles had 2 interceptions, so that's obviously going to count against him.
All right.
But it was a team performance, and they just beat a good Seattle team. I don't think you can take anything away from Seattle, and I don't think you can wash it up. It's just a good defeat game.
Yeah. And well, the Seahawks lose to the Rams, and right now they're on the road, but they're going to a tough place. They're going to Titletown. Russell Franchise is a Packers fan.
Go, Pack, go!
Russell Franchise is a Packers fan.
Go, Pack, go!
Russell Franchise is a Packers fan.
Go, Pack, go!
And ladies and gentlemen, I want to be the first to say, as a Packer fan, welcome back.
Are they playing in Foxborough?
What?
Are they playing in Foxborough?
No, you know where Titletown is.
How many titles has Green Bay won in this decade?
I mean, we won 1, but 13 titles overall, Titletown.
Look, Russell. If it's not this century, just tell us what you got for me lately.
Come talk to me when the Falcons can win 2 NFC championships there.
Hey, we want an opener, baby. That's like winning the championship in and of itself.
All right, but let me get to my point at hand, because I was gonna,
All right.
as a Packer fan, welcome back, Mr. James Jones. You were missing for so long in that green and gold. 4 catches, 51 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Rodgers gets 3 touchdowns, and Matt, this is a scenario where the Seahawks go into Sunday night's game as the underdogs.
Yeah.
Packers are a 3.5 point favorite. Who do you got?
I'm going Packers all the way. You think you're going to miss somebody like Jordy Nelson, but Rodgers could make anybody look good, and that's what he obviously did. You didn't hear anything from Devontae Adams. You still have Randall Cobb. I mean, even with Jordy Nelson out, that's still probably one of the best receiving corps one of the top 10 receiving corps in the league, and you have Eddie Ling.
Yeah, I'm not faulting you. I'm going with the Packers here as well. The Packers, for me, this is going to be a tough game, especially when you think of the fact that the Packers really let the Bears in on defense wise. Almost gave the Bears a way in, but Clay Matthews was able to shut the door down because, as everybody knows, Jay Cutler throws picks in high pressure situations. But
yes,
I'm going to go Packers here on Sunday night. The Jets. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yo, you go ahead.
I was going to say just a quick tease. Make sure you listen to the Fantasy War Room because we're going to be talking a Russell Wilson trade.
Oh boy. That's a teaser, guys. You're doing a better job of advertising than I am. And
we'll also be talking a Des Bryant trade. I get you on the double.
Ooh, no more teasing. No more teasing. No more teasing.
He's so good.
All right. Let's finish out Monday night game. Dude, the Jets looked, you know what it is about the Jets? Whenever you get a new coach in the Jets, they just look amazing. They just look amazing. Amazing game against the Browns. I've never seen this before. They made McCown fumble the ball from the Jets' own 30-yard line all the way to the Browns' 40-yard line. They hit McCown so hard they brought Johnny Football into the game.
Yep.
And I mean, Fitzpatrick's in. We'll talk about the Browns later, but the Jets with Cromartie, Chris Ivory, Revis Island on the patrol looks amazing. On the other hand, the team that we all looked to and said, this team may be the only team in the AFC that could beat the Patriots, looked horrible last week. The Bills completely exposed everything that the Colts had to offer. T.Y. Hilton with something like this is injured for the foreseeable future. Plus, this is something that surprised me. Chuck Pagano, a man who pretty much did all he could last year to get his guys in the AFC to build them up, is actually fighting for his job, despite the fact of last season and whatnot. This is just crazy, sir.
All right, I'm going to pick the Colts. I think last week was a one-off fluke, and while I don't feel particularly sure about the Indianapolis running game, if fall behind, I don't want anybody else in the league growing besides Andrew Luck.
All right. With a 7-point, the Colts are a 7-point favorite in this game, and as much as, anybody can be good against the Jets. You have to be better against the Colts. And to be honest, T.Y. Hilton's probably going to miss this game. They got other threats that they can go to. They got Gore, they got their amazing tight end, and they probably have a wide receiver that's worth the same, that's worth their weight in gold compared to, T.Y. Hilton. I gotta go Colts here to finish out the Holy Trinity. Why don't we let's stay in the AFC, East for a while. Let's talk about your Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots, who last Thursday night, they had a coming out party. Gronk, 4 touches. Am I getting it right? I'm getting it mixed up. Sorry. Brady, 4 touches for 288. Gronk catches touchdowns like no one else. 94 yards, 3 touchdowns. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, no one cheats better than your New England Patriots. I say that because last week, the Steelers have the coaching headphones where they call plays to their, to the players on the field and to the people in the box. It got scrambled with the New England Patriots radio broadcast.
Right.
Coach Tomlin was pissed off after the game. Helmet, what do you call it? Headset gate. So now there's literally 4 different cheating scandals for the Patriots. And America is getting tired of it, Matt. You want to know how I know America's getting tired of it?
How do you know that, Ron?
All right. This Miss America happened this past weekend. This is Miss Georgia. I will read the quote from Miss Georgia in my best Southern accent. When she was asked by country musician superstar Brett Eldridge, did Tom Brady cheat? And I will try not to butcher as much as I can. So, did Tom Brady cheat? Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm not sure. I think I have to be there to see the ball and, feel it. Make sure it was deflated or not deflated. But, if there was a question there, then yes, I think he cheated. If there was any question to be had, I think that he definitely cheated and that he should have been suspended for it. That's not fair. By the way, Matt, Miss Georgia would later go on to win Miss America.
Spoiler alert. Jeez.
It was on ABC. The one show on ABC that you did not watch?
I had a DVR, man.
Well.
I'm behind in that. Why don't you tell me who was eliminated on Dancing with the Stars?
All right.
I'm only up to Bendy Irwin's tears. Well, let me back up. All I saw, I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't seen any of it. All I heard is that cry. And when Fendi cries, we all cry.
Yeah. Because she danced to Crocodile Tears. Which is, yeah. ABC, we show a lot of, subtlety. But Gary Busey is my pick to win it all.
So, look, I'm just going to tell you, like, okay, I don't know, a lot of coaches are coming out and saying this about me, okay, and it's strictly hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I keep hearing is that this is happening with multiple teams, and the odd thing about it is that when those headsets go out, an NFL league official goes into the Patriots' office or into the room and will cut those headsets off as well.
Right. So pretty much everybody gets the same treatment.
Yep, equal playing field. And apparently, not too long, on a regular basis, not too long after the New England Patriots headphones are cut off, the opposing team's headphones will come back on.
Right.
So it is kind of weird. The thing is that America, the league, sports fans in general, they're not willing to put up with this anymore.
Right.
So anytime that there's something shady going on, they're just automatically going to assume that the Patriots are cheating. And that's a shame.
Well, there's one team that's going to try to do their best, and that's the Bills, who got the best of the Colts. Hey, Percy Harvin, we haven't heard from you for a while. 5 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. I might have to ask you if Percy Harvin's a good pickup for the wires. That's a teaser for the war room. Rex Ryan has wanted to shove it down the Pat's throat for most of his coaching career. And I honestly do believe that if they could beat the Colts, who's to say they can't beat the Patriots? And surprisingly enough, Vegas is at a point where this is a true pick'em. They can't this is a true pick'em. So the Patriots versus Bills, first place in the division, sir.
I'm going to go New England. I mean, look, Tyrod Taylor is going into his second start. Yes, he had a good game, last week. That's somebody I definitely want to talk about tomorrow night in the War Room. But what you cannot take Brock away. There's nobody in the league who's able to stop him. He's a polar bear. He's a monster. He's Frankenstein. He's probably been genetically altered. There are bolts sticking out of his head. You cannot tackle him. So it's New England. It's New England, and the point not even close. I will say this though. All right, to back my setup about Tom Brady. Tom Brady has not thrown a pass. Did not throw a pass for more than 10 yards in last week's win. So the long ball is gone.
That's just dink and dunk.
Yep, if you take Gronk out of it, you're taking away 6 points. Gronk is 6 points on average per game. So if Gronk were to go down, there is no, the story would change. But until Gronk goes away, I'm going to take the Patriots.
Man, it's a true pick'em. Because you have the Super Bowl champions going up against Rex Ryan's Bills.
So why don't you take the Bills then?
You know what? Sound the alarm.
Woo!
The siren has sounded, which means that franchise is ready to make his upset pick of the week.
Yeah, you know what? You pushed me in the corner against the Bills, and here's the thing. The Bills, at home against the Colts, they were able to pretty much limit Andrew Luck. Do everything they could to hold down Andrew Luck. And I will say this again. And football is a game of parity. The best team wins every week. If you can go out at home and beat the Colts, who's to say that you can't go out and beat the Patriots? I'm gonna Bills get my upset pick for this week, sir. No doubt.
You're gonna take the Bills, eh?
I'll take the Bills, sir. Let's move on. The Chargers. The Chargers.
By the way, hold on. If you haven't heard about it yet, go listen and go research the Gronk Booze Cruise.
I heard about that.
Out this spring. All right, big game.
I heard about, the Gronk actually, he was a guest, he had a guest week on Big Brother, and someone won the opportunity to get on the booze cruise. That was an actual prize on a reality TV show.
I honestly feel like that would be a gigantic sausage fest, but there are a lot of women going on that.
Yeah. Don't worry.
And if I were single, holy cow, I'm shipping out. I don't know what I'm coming back with, but that would be fun.
Well, don't
The
worry.
Gronkowski party with the Gronkowski brothers.
Don't worry, man. I got something brewing, sir. The Frenzy presents the Oyster Frenzy with Russell Franchise and friends. Yes, you, too, can have oysters with all the people that you listen to on the Frenzy, including Russell Franchise, Matt Carroll, if he's available, Parth, and those three and maybe one more. Details coming soon.
Great.
Yeah. So your house is going to be ready for that oyster roast, right? Cause,
Yeah, let me get right on that.
all right. Can you host maybe 50 people in the house?
In the backyard, maybe.
All
I
right.
have to avoid the dog poop.
All right. We're going to have a VIP section as well. Cause,
The VIP section is the concrete area in the backyard where they do nothing.
perfect. When this show's over, we'll keep going with the planning with something like that. All right. Moving on. With the Chargers, the LA Chargers, as they soon to be, they answered the question, what do you do when you have no Antonio Gates? You don't worry about it. You just come back and beat the Lions from 21 points down and get the win. That's not the big issue here, because the Chargers, Phillip Rivers had a big game. It's their opponent, the Bengals. And yes, they did beat the Raiders in fashion. And when they beat them, I said they literally beat them. And when I say that, there's only one name that should come to your mind when I say that. Adam Pac-Man Jones. If you're new to football, let me refresh you on this young man. Busted for pot before he started his first game. Several things. He's well known for shooting up a Las Vegas strip club because of an argument during NBA All-Star Weekend, which caused him to miss a whole season. Give TNA Wrestling a shot, and then come back, and he bounced around the Cowboys and then eventually back to the Bengals. We thought, okay, maybe he's learned his way. Apparently, he needs to go back to anger management. After a play, he lays out your boy, Amari Cooper. He lays out your boy on the ground, pulls off his helmet, and then slams his head on the helmet. I'm sensing that when you saw that, Matt, there was a little bit of anger within you.
I was like that mama bear who sees somebody messing with her cubs, and I just wanted to charge him and rip him apart. I was so mad.
I was mad too, and of course, the great Commissioner Goodell does what he does best. Nothing. Adam Pac-Man will not be suspended for this week's game against the Bengals, to which I say, thanks, douchebag.
I'm so over Roger Goodell at this point, dude. It's just ridiculous. I have to believe that there will be some kind of penalty coming.
But I think he should. I mean, the penalty that would fit right here is a couple of game suspensions. I mean, if you're gonna try to, my thing is this: if you're gonna try to get Brady on 4-game suspension for not knowing how properly balls are inflated, you gotta give Pac-Man 8 games, especially when given the fact that he bashed a player's head into the helmet.
Well, let me put it to you this way. This is how clueless the commissioner is. You equate the same, essentially, deflating balls gets the same penalty as beating your wife and smoking pot.
Right. He's got standards.
That should tell you right there exactly where the commissioner's priorities are.
Oh, he didn't.
So,
I will say this: he didn't show up to the Patriots game, and the Patriots, after they got a big lead, the fans started saying, "Where's Roger?" Clap, 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 clap. I will join in here. Where's Roger? Where is Roger? But enough about that. The Bengals are a 3.5 point favorite by Vegas's odds. What do you say, sir?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna go San Diego. The numbers that they put up this past week were too good. You're seeing a real rejuvenation in Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers had an over 300-yard game.
Yeah.
And you know he's got a good cast around him. So I don't think the Bengals have anything for him. And yeah, I don't even know why I hedged to begin with. It's Chargers and Fighting Club.
All right. As much as I now hate, Adam Pac-Man Jones, for me, the Ginger Ninja had one of his best games. Gio's ready. AJ's ready. You got the best I think you have the best cast from the AFC North here. I'm gonna go Bengals here. I'm gonna split again. We're gonna go dangerous here. I gotta go Bengals with the points.
Yeah, you understand that the point of this whole thing is to pick winner, right?
Right. Well, I mean, last week, if you heard last week's show, pretty much everybody was picking the same person. And it doesn't really help if everybody picks the same thing. So you got to go on faith sometimes, okay? And it's something like this, big game situations. The Ninja usually shows up. I know it's not December for Chargers fans yet, but I'm gonna go Cincy on this one, okay?
I hear you. And look, I just want to let you know, regardless of the outcome, I just walked in the door from a long football practice, a long day at work, and my beautiful wife handed me a Blue Moon Harvest Pumpkin Ale.
Oh.
I'm already winning in life.
Oh, my grandma handed me a bill. So if there's any interested women out there that might want Facebook.com/franchise frenzy, hook a brother up.
I'm not particularly interested. I'm not interested in any particular age, weight, or sexually transmitted disease, as long as you'll and love me.
Let's go to quick picks.
It's not that we don't care about these games. It's just we really don't care about these games. It's time for quick picks.
Let's go to quick picks. All right, we start off in the NFC North, sir. Lions versus Vikings. Both teams struggling. Both teams, their big stars never really showed up. Megatron against the Chargers only had 2 catches for 39 yards. On the other side, AP's back, but listen to this number. 10 carries, 31 yards. This is just horrible. Someone's got to win this game. Vegas has the Lions by 3.
Look, this is a really hard pick. I'm gonna say Lions, but I don't really feel comfortable about it. So Lions.
Lions. Is that all right? Because it's in Minnesota. You can't go against Stafford, Megatron, and Golden Tate. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater, maybe in the future, but I'm gonna follow suit and go with the Lions on this one, sir. All right, Bucks versus Saints. We're gonna talk later on about Mariota, who on his first pass threw a touchdown in the same game. Jameis Winston on his first pass threw a touchdown to the other side, a pick 6. By the way, Matt, the only other person to throw a pick 6 in his debut game. Would you like to take a guess?
I have no idea.
Brett Favre.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
So, with that being said, Jameis Winston, welcome back. Welcome to Canton, Ohio. you are in the Hall of Fame. Just avoid crab legs and texting pictures of your dick to women, and I think you'll be okay. The Saints, though, last week they showed moments of greatness against the Cardinals, but still not enough. But ironically enough, sir, Vegas is giving the Saints the biggest point spread of this week against any team. They're a 10-point favorite against the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking Saints as well. I think Ingram is really going to emerge as Ingram's playing really well. Got a great. Can you edit that out?
Yeah, I can edit it out.
You're not actually going to edit that out, are you?
I'm gonna edit it out. If you hear this tomorrow, then that means I'm a dick. So.
Son of a bitch. It's the Saints. I forgot this just quick thing.
Yeah.
It's the Saints.
All right, I gotta go with the Saints here. The Bucks. I mean, Jameis Winston still has a lot of work to do. If anything, the Saints at home should do the bulk of the work. We talked about the Steelers, and I'll say for the Steelers right now, D'Angelo Williams, welcome back to importance in the NFL. $126 on the ground with 21 carries. But the 49ers, new uniform, getting a big win on Monday night. Carlos Hyde, we get to see Mr. Hyde, not Dr. Jekyll. 26 carries, 168 with 2 touches. Although I will say this, 49ers fan, what you did with that Vikings fan outside your stadium, beating him up, that's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Man, that's San Francisco's move, dude.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
You save that for Raiders, okay? If it's a Raiders fan, the Raiders can actually hold their own. He's a lonely Vikings fan. He can't do it. All right?
Was it one of the ones that were dressed up in the purple suits?
Yes.
Because I wanted to beat them guys up. They got so much TV time last night. Oh, my God.
Well, Steelers are a 5.5-point favorite at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go Steelers as well. D'Angelo Williams really good, man. I was glad. I hate to see him lose to Carolina, but that's going to be a really potent offensive 1-2 punch. Once Le'Veon Bell gets back, so I'm going Steelers.
Yeah, I think with something like this, the Steelers, they're going to have a better time against the 49ers. I still have a lot of questions about Kaepernick and who he's throwing the ball to. He didn't really get that many passes out in the win, so we'll see what happens there. All right.
Carlos Hyde looked really good. Really, really good. If you drafted him, good job. You're going to reap those rewards this year.
All right. I was going to spend time just talking about just giving the Rams praise for what they're doing, for beating the Seahawks at home. But there's a lot of BS we got to talk about in Washington, sir. For starters, last week it was reported that they actually started they actually put RG3 on the scouts team as a safety, despite the fact that he was out for last week's game because of concussion. Now, to put that in perspective for you, had RG3 gotten re-injured in that scouting team practice, the Redskins would be on the hook for $16 million.
Here's what I don't understand. If you're going to keep him to be a quarterback, then keep him to be a quarterback. Put a non-contact jersey on him. Get him with a quarterback coach. If you're not, and that's what they've got to be doing. But to put him on as to drop him down to third string and have him playing some ridiculous position like that, it doesn't make any sense. That just tells you what kind of culture they have in Washington. How bad Zach Wilson is.
Oh, it gets better, sir. I'm about to tell you, it gets even better. So last week, their kicker, who missed a 49-yard field goal, as well as other kicks during the preseason, they dropped them out. Word is now that they may pull an invincible at the end. Dig this. There's reports saying that at the end of the game against the Rams, there will be a kicking tryout for any Redskins fan to earn season tickets.
Wow.
These are your Washington Redskins, everybody.
The Washington R's.
Yeah, repulsives.
Washington R's.
The repulsives are going to be 3.5 point losers with the Rams. What do you think?
I think Washington actually played fairly well last week against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really shut down Tannehill and those receivers. For the most part, I still think that the Rams are a better team, so I'm going to go Rams.
I got to go
But
Rams.
I don't. You're going to go Redskins?
Hell no, I'm going Rams here.
Oh, I didn't think you were going for the R's now.
I'm not.
R's.
I'm drunk, but I'm not that drunk yet. All right, let's see. Let's get this out of the way. Dolphins or Jaguars? It's the Battle of Florida. Dolphins had a pretty good week against Washington. What can you say about Jaguars? They sold out all of their pool seats in the balcony, sir. The Dolphins are 6-point favorites.
Yeah, it's going to be the Dolphins, but the Jaguars are definitely looking up. I was really excited to see T.J. Yeldon. He didn't get the majority of the carries, but he looked really good, and I think that team's trending upwards. But for the time being, Miami.
Let's keep going. Let's keep working together here. The Dolphins easily beat the Jaguars. All right, it's the team from Chicago versus the team from Chicago that moved to St. Louis and then currently to their new spot in Arizona. They look good. Carson Palmer back from injury, 19 for 32, 307 with 3 touches. The Bears show glimpses of hope, but once again, I will repeat what I said earlier. Jay Cutler only throws picks during high-pressure football games. The Cardinals are 2.5 point favorites.
Cardinals all about. I was singing Carson Palmer's praises. I told you about John Brown, Andre Ellington, Jeremy, and him going out. We'll talk more about that situation with running backs and who's going to be the guy. But for tonight's purposes, Cardinals.
Cardinals, I gotta go Cardinals as well. Ravens just, once again, no offensive touchdowns in their last game against the Broncos, but don't worry, the Raiders never made it past second base in their game against the Bengals. No, for real, they never made. They spent 3/4 of the game behind second base on their field.
I can't believe they're still playing in that stadium.
Well, don't worry. Next year, when they become the LA Raiders, they're LA's problem.
Well, both them and the Chargers can't go to LA. You gotta pick one.
Well, no, you heard the stadium setup where the Raiders and the Chargers would have the stadium at the same time. The stadium, if the Chargers are in town, they actually have a machine that would create artificial lightning whenever the Chargers score a touchdown. When the Raiders are in town, they have the flame to honor their late owner.
Wow.
Yeah, but Baltimore is with Baltimore, even with Suggs out for the year with an Achilles tear, they are a 7-point favorite.
Honestly, a lot of this is going to depend on Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr's probably going to win this game, and if Derek Carr is out, then I'm taking the Ravens.
You don't trust Matt McGroin? Not to be confused with his brother Pat McGroin? I've been saving that joke all day.
Yeah, no, I don't trust. I don't care what his high is now.
All right.
I mean, and that's a shame because, again, much like the Jaguars, the Raiders were trending up. They had a really good offseason. They got a young, good talent. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go Ravens. Get Carr's out.
Right.
Can I put that caveat on there? If Carr's playing, then I pick Ravens.
You got to pick one of the. I'm not going to go back in and just double check. You're locked in now.
All right, Ravens. I go Ravens.
Let's go. I'm going to go Ravens as well. Last one, Texans versus Panthers. Even in the loss to the Chiefs, J.J. Watt's the greatest player in the NFL right now. Still managed to have a career day. He hits 2 sacks on Alex Smith, which ties him for the most sacks in a season opener in Texans history. Sacked him so hard, he lost his own helmet. He lost his own helmet on the sack.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, there's no hope. And despite how anemic the Panthers looked, they're still going to be better than the Texans. And they're playing at home. Texans are coming from the West Coast time or Central time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean the Panthers, even with their wide receiver trouble. I mean, you look at the number. Greg Olsen, who's usually 8 catches for 70 yards, 1 catch for 11 yards.
Yeah.
He was a terrible pick if you had him in a PPR league like me, but still, Panthers are a 3-point.
That was tough.
Yeah, well, I still managed to get the win. The Panthers are a 3-point favorite, and with something like this, I don't see any other reason why you don't go with the Panthers in this situation, sir. That's the end of quick picks. All right. The Cowboys on Sunday night pulled off maybe the greatest comeback that you would think. And keep in mind, the Cowboys had 3 turnovers that really cost them, 2 of which weren't even Romo's fault. It was just miscues. But then the Giants, who we'll talk about later on, does maybe the worst hack job ever in time management. But the win does come at a loss here. Dez Bryant with a broken foot. He's going to be out for 2 months, at least 2 months, with surgery that he had on Monday morning. But everything's looking good for the Cowboys. They have a divisional rivalry today with the Eagles, and I'm going to be honest, Matt. I'm just going to put it out there.
Uh-huh.
If I hear the Chris Kelly experiment one more time, I'm going to slap somebody. I'm sick of hearing the Chip Kelly experiment. Yes, you came back from you had a second half comeback where you were down 20-3 and you managed to make it a game. But this whenever the Eagles play every year, the first game of the year, especially since the Chip Kelly years, we've always said, "Oh, it's a Chip Kelly experiment. We don't know what he's doing." I'm going to be honest, Matt. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I equate the Chip Kelly experiment to Peanuts when Linus talks about the Great Pumpkin. Yes, I could spend all day in the pumpkin patch to wait for the Great Pumpkin to arrive, but until I see it, I believe it's a myth. So I'm just tired of I'm really tired of the Chip Kelly experiment.
Chip Kelly, I'm not complaining against what he's doing because he's running his team the way he wants to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's kind of refreshing to see somebody run a team in that manner. With that being said, and by the way, I'm a huge proponent for Sam Bradford.
Yeah,
I think that the talent is there.
I think.
But with that being said, go ahead.
Yeah, I think with something like this, you look at, we've always talked. I think last year we talked about the fact that Bradford needs a fresh start from St. Louis, and we saw that in Philadelphia. Likewise, Nick Foles found new life in St. Louis.
Yeah.
This does look like it was in all purposes, this looked like a great trade.
Sam Bradford was a number 1 pick who had injury problems. And until he's out of the league, you have to take a risk on him. Until there's an injury that causes him to leave the league, we're talking about knee injuries. We're not talking about, head injuries. We're not talking about shoulder injuries. We're not talking about arm injuries. He's a quarterback. He's not a particularly mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So until something happens, the waste. I'm fine with somebody taking a flyer on Sam Bradford. I'm not talking about trading 3 first-round picks for him. But if Nick, there's no you can tell me that Sam Bradford, a healthy Sam Bradford, not an upgrade over Nick Foles.
I'd probably still take Nick Foles though, because Bradford. The problem with Bradford is, as good as he was, this game, he's only 1 bad misstep away from tearing the ACL for a 3rd time.
I would put a wager on it. If you want to, because not that you're particularly good about honoring your wagers, because you still haven't wore a T-shirt to a fantasy draft talking about how I beat you in last year's pick. But if you wanted to do a side pick or a side bet, which I totally don't expect you to honor, that says that Sam Bradford will beat Nick Foles in 3 of the 5 major quarterbacking categories. And those would be quarterback rating, yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and completions. 3 of those 5. I'll make that bet right now that Sam Bradford wins at least 3 of those 5.
All right.
You name the stakes.
All right. I will give you my answer Thursday on the Fantasy Presents Fantasy War Room.
Sounds good.
Teasers galore. That show's gonna be.
Galore.
That show's gonna be a 2-hour show, by the way.
Hey, no, we're doing good. We're at like 50 minutes right now on this phone call.
Yeah. Well, but surprisingly enough, the Vegas gives the edge to the Eagles with 6 points.
Hell no. I'm going Cowboys. As much as I like Sam Bradford, as much as I like the Eagles, as much as I'm anticipating watching them play every week, it's the Cowboys. Look at that Cowboys offensive line. Those guys give Romo so much time. You know Romo's going to throw 2 interceptions a game. And Dez Bryant, I don't care if Dez Bryant's out or not. Dez Bryant doesn't. I mean, he doesn't do anything for him. I think he's a great player. He's definitely, a fantasy stud. But it's next man up.
Yeah.
Terrence Williams, Jason Witten, whatever. And that reminds me, I have a really good Rob Gronkowski stat I can hit you with later after this is over if you'd like.
Well, hit it. Look, dude, we already have a 3-hour fantasy war room. Let's add it to that, sir.
Yeah. I sent you the notes.
Yeah. But with stuff like this, I gotta go with the Cowboys as well. Romo showed that especially in high pressure situations, if you give Romo the chance, he will destroy your team outright. The Eagles, you came back from the second half. It would be amazing if you started the first half the same way that you started the second half. Then you might be able to win games. As I said, until I see the Great Pumpkin, it's still a myth to me. Until I see the Chip Kelly experiment working, it's gonna still be a myth to me. Sir, Marcus Mariota is thetruth.com/for real. For real. Threw for 209 yards, 4 touchdowns. His first pass was a touchdown in the NFL. He even had a perfect passer rating of 158.3. He is the youngest quarterback to do so, and the first ever to do it in his first football game in the NFL. Also, first to throw 4 touchdowns in the first half of their first game. No one else has ever done that before. People, this could be the rebirth of the Titans football team as we see him. On the other side, though, it's the same old shit with the Cleveland Browns. Quarterback goes down, another crappy quarterback will take. It's like Hydra. When one crappy quarterback goes down, 3 other crappy quarterbacks come out. McCown gets the helicopter spin for his life, gets a concussion. And guess who we get back? Money, Johnny Football is back. And guess what, by the way? He threw his first career touchdown this week. Great for him. Mariota, by the way, has more touchdowns than Johnny Football.
Look, I'm just going to tell you like this, okay? Let's reel the horses in just a little bit. I really want to hop on the Mariota bandwagon.
Right.
I'm starting Mariota in a fantasy league this week.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, he played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
Okay? That team is not very good right now. Okay? So, let's reel the horses in a little bit. With that being said, all of the storylines that you just talked about with Marcus Mariota, you're completely forgetting the fact that Bishop Saints has had a really good game and may be becoming the running back that we thought he could be.
Right.
Okay? Delaney Walker, a tight end who I started in multiple leagues. Great. Kendall Wright. You know, that team it's not just Marcus Mariota. I mean, it has a lot to do with Marcus Mariota, but let's hold off on casting his buzz for Canton right now.
All right.
That being said,
Well, I mean, like we've already stated that Jameis Winston will be in the Hall of Fame. So.
okay, well, that's good to know. First and second round picks are Hall of Fame now. So that being said, the Browns last season, on a weekly average, gave up the most rushing yards to opposing running backs. I think between Mariota's legs, his arm, and the reemergence of Sankey, I think the Tennessee Titans win.
You want to hear something that's really, really messed up?
Sure.
Vegas has this game as a true pick'em.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Yes, even though, like, there are maybe, like, cause the website that I use, it breaks down the nine or so sports books in Vegas and across the world. Even though some have the Titans as a 4-point favorite, when you get a consensus of it, it's a true pick'em.
You've got it. No, I am all over the Titans on my parlay card. That is a guaranteed. What is it? It's a true pick'em. So is it just zero or minus
Zero.
2 either way?
It's pretty much -1. If you wanted to think about
get
minus,
out of town.
yeah.
Get out of town. I would bet that all day.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Titans as well. With something like this, I'm really gonna take a chance with Mariota, with something like this. And I mean, yeah, they beat the Buccaneers, but let's keep in mind the fact that the Browns still don't have a quarterback they can put their, life savings into at this point, sir. Which lead us into the main event. On one side, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and any remaining Browns fans that we have listening. Good news! The Falcons have something that might resemble a defense.
Yeah.
Forget the fact that Julio went 9 for 141 with 2 touches, a true PPR god, by the way. They were able to hold the Eagles to 3 points. The defense was able to hold the Eagles to 3 points in the first half. Unfortunately, they only that defense only lasted for the first half of the game. The Eagles did manage to come back and make it a game near the end of Monday night. But the big storyline is the Giants, who once again have snatched defeat from the hands of victory. Something like this. So here's the situation. You have the lead. You're driving the ball down the field. And the Cowboys only have 2 timeouts. They have to burn their timeouts. We go to the 2-minute warning. Apparently, no one in the Giants locker room knew that the Cowboys had 2 timeouts left. So what do? They run the ball on first down. They run the ball on second down. On third down, which you would normally think you were going to run the ball, they choose to throw the ball. That stops the clock, not knowing that the Cowboys, as I said, have 2 timeouts at their disposal. They kick a field goal going up by 3 points, which leaves Romo with 1:37 in the game. Oh, Matt, did I happen to mention they had 2 timeouts left?
Yeah.
And then the rest, as they say, was history. The Cowboys pulling off the comeback of the week 1 with their win against the Giants. You have coaches blaming the players. Eli Manning is blaming himself. No, I think he's blaming. With the blame game, you can't really tell who's blaming each other, but that is what's going on in New York, and now they have to go up against the Falcons, who, if they have their defense all together, might be able to pull this one out. The Falcons are a 2-point favorite. Since you are the guest this week, you will get the final pick, but I will say this. From what I saw, yes, Matt Ryan, he threw a couple of picks in Monday night's game that had me questionable, but we saw the reemergence of Roddy White as a number 2 wide receiver. Tevin in the backfield. and of course Julio Jones getting most of his touches in the first half. Not really a threat in the second half, but they still had to respect him. I got to give it to the Falcons here to beat the Giants and get the win, sir. Do you go against your own team, or do you go with the do you go with the Dirty Birds, sir?
No, I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I don't think the Giants have. They're missing a lot. For some reason, they're going away from ODB. There's not a significant running game, and I think the Falcons may have turned it around at least in the. Let me put it this way: they've turned it around to where their defense is serviceable. They're going to put the ball in the air, and I think they've got just enough of a threat at running back to where they can keep teams honest in the box. Therefore, I'm going Falcons, and I'm really excited to be a Falcons fan right now.
Get this season tickets for the new stadium ready, guys. That is week 2.
Exactly.
That is week 2, and guess what? We get to come back tomorrow and do this again, fantasy wise.
I'm telling you, tomorrow night's show is going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
We have a lot of free agency news along to discuss. A lot of injuries this past week, and we're going to be talking. We're going to be doing a recap from last week, where I got it right, where I got it wrong, and we're going to be talking about Mariota. We're going to be talking about Vinny Cunningham. We're going to be talking about what to do with the running back situation in Arizona. We got a full show tomorrow night. I'm really excited about it.
Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to The Frenzy on iTunes, Podomatic, or even on the YouTube site, or you can listen directly on Facebook.com/Franchise Frenzy, do so. And then on Thursday, catch The Frenzy Presents Fantasy War Room with me and Fantasy Buddha doing this all over again on the fantasy side. Yeah, Matt Carroll, you can find him Franchise Buddha on Twitter. Plus, since we now have the website up, you can send your questions or post them at Facebook.com/Franchise Frenzy, or you can send them to me, Russell Franchise, Russell Franchise, if you find me on Facebook.com. Matt, you get some rest. You enjoy, you prop up, you drink your Blue Moon, watch Dancing with the Stars, and tomorrow we will have the ABC recap.
I hear you, brother. We'll talk to you then.
All right, so and everybody, as I said, enjoy week 2. Listen to Thursday. Frenzy presents Fantasy War Room. If you have a fantasy football team, you owe it to yourself to listen to it. Enjoy week 2, and as always, my pick's so good you can take them to the bank, but I wouldn't advise it.